there's the Open Meetings Act, okay. I'm going to call the Red Willow County Visitors Committee to order. The Open Meetings Act is out on the table. Everybody you two have a chance to read the minutes?
I did.
I did.
I need a motion.
I will make the motion.
I will second.
To
Approve the minutes.
as written.
As written.
Any discussion?
No.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, very good. I see where he writes it very well.
We'll get this.
Financial status, nothing to worry about there. Old business, Explore McCook app. I see you got some numbers here.
Yeah.
Look at the numbers grow.
Yeah, the first page of that is the downloads, and this was as of 2 days ago, anyway. Shows that there's a whole lot more iPhone users in the area than Android, but it was at 534. The other pages show you what businesses that they're clicking on, and if they're going to websites or telephone or map, you know, what they're clicking through to. And then what home screen, as far as categories that they're going through too. So, which, like I said,
It is very interesting.
I'm sure it'll continue to grow. I know that Sarah took it up to the senior center and to get people to download the app.
How'd you have with that, Sarah? Were
Well, I saw you there.
Why no? Well, no. The reason I say when I left, there was a ton of those cards that I left on the tables.
Yep. So a lot of them I helped, and there's posters. I also wanted to make sure I attended because Carol approached me last week that you guys and her have some concerns that I am not sharing information about the app and some of the responsibilities of the app too. So I just wanted to clarify this. The reason why you're seeing those numbers is because I've done a lot of the legwork with advertising. I have been paying for social media, and I don't expect you guys to reimburse the chamber, but I've been paying for social media ads, going out to the public, trying to inform them, passing around posters. Carol has the posters, Carol has the cards. I sent her an email on the 21st of February asking her where she was taking the posters to, and to this day I haven't heard back from her because I wanted to make sure, like
I
this.
thought we covered that in the conversation because I didn't want to duplicate what you were doing.
And that's
as well.
what I said in my email.
Right.
But I
Sure.
figured with the tourism, I believe the hotels, the airport, and the fairgrounds, up to you because that is yours. So this weekend there was a big event at the fairgrounds, and I followed up with Giles because we've been working on the app a little bit more, and he said that there's no information about the app there. I followed up with the hotels. There's no information about the app in any of the hotels.
And this isn't the discussion we could have had when you were in my office?
So when you said that your board is concerned,
Yeah, and I understand that, but I thought, you know, that's why I wanted to have that conversation.
so Carol had also mentioned to me that the reason why you guys were upset, she wasn't included in the newspaper article, but the newspaper had reached out to me asking to interview me. I did not seek out them. So that is another reason why we're seeing the increase. And she was upset with it, but the problem is if you look at our website, you can access through our social media, through our website, people are gonna know that, hey, this is the app. When you go to Carol's website, it's not on there. The only activities on here too, because the QR codes are in the hotels, we have 3 Nebraska passport winners this year, starting May 1st. Last year, the Scoop was one of them. So people are gonna start planning their summer vacations. So it's important that we get everything, and that's why I've been pushing this app and getting everything up to date. Social media, this is the presence. We don't have anything on social media. The last time she posted was October 18th. There's nothing about Heritage Days on her social media page. So I wanted you guys to be fully aware, if you're upset with me because I am doing interviews, people are coming to me. And if she was out there and she was promoting the app, they would come to her as well. Since November, I have been putting in night, days, weekends, building this app. Everything has to be put in manually. And I'm not getting paid for all that time. But why do I do it? Because it's important and I love this town. And so when she came to me and said that you guys were upset, I wanted to come to this meeting and make sure it is very clear. Like, I'm not working behind her back, we're supposed to be working together, and that's all I want. But there are things that I have been doing that is very frustrating too. So this last year, when I went to one of the conferences, Nebraska Tourism was there. This is the Nebraska website for McCook. We have 4 attractions listed. The Scoop was a passport winner. They were not even listed. The hotels weren't up to date until I started sending them up to date. So you can see, and like the Loop is not. There are the events from last year were the events that I submitted to the state website. So I just wanted to make sure you guys are completely clear. Anything that's being done that you see posters around town or the information out and about is because I am out there pushing it. I would love for Carol to do it. She has the same access to this app as I do. She could create a community, so next week with the chickens, she can say, hey, okay, so this is where I would recommend to eat. This is where I would recommend to stay. The walking tour. Rhonda Graff had mentioned to me, we really need to link that to the app. And I said 100% agreed. And so I was looking and I was searching everywhere. It's not on social media. It's not on the website. I had to dig to find this walking tour app. And it's now on there. But that's what, I wanted you guys to be fully aware that the numbers and what you see happening isn't because Carol's helping me. So I want you to be 100% transparent what's going on.
And
And if
when
you
did I
have
get
questions,
access to the app?
I can pull it up on the email. As soon as you asked me, I gave you access.
That was several weeks after I had initially asked you. I know when I got access to it, but that was.
But you know, I wanna interject something. And you know what, Sarah? We've been trying to work with the chamber for 30 years. 30 years. You're the first chamber director that has ever done anything. So we're butting heads. We've been trying to, between MEDC, chamber, and this group, you're the very first, and I commend you for that. However, you have to coordinate. This gets back to the original thing from 30 years ago to today. It's who's in charge of what?
So, and that's why with the emails, when I send emails, the same thing happened a couple weeks ago. Rhonda and I both attended that tourism conference, and she went to a breakout session, and geofencing is very important for areas like Norfolk. You can do a geofence and track cell phones to see where those cell phones are from. And that would be important for tourism. Rhonda sent a message a couple weeks ago asking, hey guys, this is what I found out. What are your thoughts? Should I proceed on getting some more information? Carol still has not responded to that email.
I didn't see that email.
So when it comes to communication and coordinating, I am here.
Well, that's my whole point. It's, you know, this is all water under the bridge right now. Totally under the bridge. It doesn't matter what's happened in the past. What needs to be done is going from this point forward and understanding, you know, I say this, I'll bet you 5 times a day. We live in a communication world and no one communicates, except those in certain circles. Drives me crazy.
So it's very clear then, so all the hotels from today on,
That's
that they
fine.
will have, I did talk to the hotels and they said that they won't put these cards in, to
The
each
rooms?
room. So I will leave that up to Carol to figure out what marketing material can be available in each room.
Okay, I'm sure that's up to each individual brand, each individual franchise. I'm
Correct.
sure that's all franchise brand protection,
Mhm.
is what that is. That's all that is. They get caught with those kind of things in there and it's not for brand protection, then the franchise owners get reprimanded for it. I mean, it's that simple, but that's irrelevant. We all know that, that's all brand protection.
But having her available here to answer questions, cause I get a lot of tourism and this, it's, Like-
You should. Oh,
But
absolutely you should. You're the Chamber of Commerce. That's my whole point in this. We need to work together here.
and the communication needs to be
Yes,
responding
yes.
and,
Yes. And so with all this being said, there's some pretty powerful things going on right now in this room. I mean, it's accusations and nastiness in my opinion. And
And
it
it
doesn't need to
started-
be that way.
it started Dan when she told me she needed to talk to me and she said that you guys have felt this way when since November I have put in the hours to build this app.
And
Have
I
the
never
conversations
said
with her.
you didn't, because you.
But that's the way it comes across when Sarah is not working with the board. How would you take that? If you were working so hard at your job, not getting any sort of payment or anything from it, but you enjoyed it and somebody came to you and said, you're not doing it correctly, how would you feel?
I'm sorry you took it that way, that was not my
I
intention.
don't know. I was
At
having
all.
a conversation. I mean,
That was not my intention, it was more of an effort to coordinate than to,
And that was not even discussed. It was the newspaper article, and why didn't you call me to tell me the newspaper was reaching out
that's
to
the
you?
communication again. It's he said, she said.
But
She
why
said, she
should I
said.
have to-
mean,
If the newspaper is calling to interview me over the app, why should I have to call Carol and say, hey, the newspaper, when are you gonna be in? Why should I have to do that when she could also be promoting the app on her social media and on her website?
There are definitely probably some things that just need to be, I mean,
Perfect.
and that's perfect to point out those things. Those are things that then she can work on and,
When I came up with the app, one of the things that I told her when I was explaining was the different communities, and I said with the prairie chicken tours, this will be fantastic, because you don't have to have anything written or printed out. You can tell them, download the app, click here, see what else is available. And so I have been trying really hard to make sure that is done. And the Buffalo Commons, this goes with, she could be going to the board meetings, meeting with the Buffalo Commons Festival, building the community. It shouldn't be the chamber director doing it because it's all over your website. And so it's the initiative, just take the initiative and promote McCook, promote the activities. But when you look at your calendar, you guys can't just keep coming and saying communication, because look at May, nothing is listed. If you look for June, the bash isn't listed, the cruise on the brick isn't listed. This week, she just listed the concert, nothing about the fair, it's just the concert. And then you go August, people are gonna be planning their vacations, especially the passport holders, and there's nothing.
that's something that,
And then when you
Yeah.
look at the state website, it's the same exact thing. I mean, one of the places for lodging was the Cedar Inn and the car campground. And that was before the Holiday Inn and the Cobblestone. If I would have pulled that up, there is no way I'd wanna come to McCook. The loop doesn't even exist anymore. And then one of the main attractions on here, we have a $6 million swimming pool. People were coming from North Platte to come to the swimming pool. It's not listed on here. Our activities, there's 4 activities: golfing, prairie chicken tours, the lake, and So Blessed. And So Blessed is not even in this location anymore. So that's what, if, guys, I'm just saying, please help me. I am drowning in my work. I would love for Carol to go out and meet with the Buffalo Commons and build the app. I would love for that. The only thing that she has added to the app is her calendar. Of everything that's on the app right now, the only thing that she has added is her prairie chicken dance tours. That is it. The fairgrounds, I have added. So she's had access to this, and this is what I'm just trying to show you. So if you have concerns that I am not sharing, I would love for Carol to help me.
Very good.
I would love for her to help promote more. Just like going to the radio stations, at the senior center. I give tourism, I told the senior center 50-50. This is a joint project between tourism and chamber. The newspaper, every time. Carol got grant money for the app, but I don't know what it's for. And so that, the communication, same thing about changing the app icon. We just paid $60,000 for a brand, and she was sitting in that meeting, and so we discussed it. I had her help me pick out, that's why it changed. There's communication there. I would love to have the help. Promoting, going to businesses, putting the posters at the hotels.
So is that something you two could sit down and figure out each month what you're gonna do, and then we could be involved in that too and know?
From this point on, I would like to make sure it's all email, because I am a little frustrated. And like today, she didn't come in until 12:15, and so my job is not always just set in my office. I'm out and about. I'm visiting new members. I'm trying to connect the resources with my members, holding job fairs, whatever it may be. So I'm not always in the office. So that's where, with the board, and I can CC the president of my board, and I'd like to add you guys, that open communication, so you know what's being handled and what's not.
And I respect that. But you gotta remember, you're representing the city of McCook.
No, I'm not. The
But you
city
are,
doesn't pay me.
listen to what I said, you're representing the city. I know you have nothing to do with the city. You are representing the city of McCook in the form of a chamber of commerce. No different than the National Chamber of Commerce is promoting the United States. That's my point.
And our members are just not in McCook. I have members in Indianola as well.
Well, good. Well, what brought that up? Where'd that comment come from? But that's okay. Now I lost my train of thought.
There's overlap, yes, there is some overlap, definitely.
There's
That's
always
why,
been overlap.
that's why if you two came up with a monthly thing of who's gonna do what, then it maybe would clarify some things and.
Well, I would agree with that. You know, it's Open Meetings Act here.
And we can definitely do it through emails, so.
I think that would be
Yeah.
a good,
And honestly, if.
Good way to proceed.
I have no doubt Rhonda sent the email, but I did not see it. And I thought that our meeting was a response to your email. I just didn't realize I needed to document it.
I commend you, for what you're doing. You're the best chamber director that I've ever seen in my existence in any position for the last 40 years in McCook, Nebraska. And for that, I commend you. But you are the very best I've seen in the fact of promoting it. But 40 years is a long time. I mean, that's a long time. Matter of fact, it's been over 40 years. It's been 42 years that I've been doing this. Not this, but within the chamber realm. I used to do a ton of work for the Chamber of Commerce. I mean, a ton of work 40 years ago. I'd spend weekends, weekdays. But that's when I was managing Kicks Radio. That was part of my job. It's not an easy job. It's not an easy task. And all this communication, because of cell phones and technology, it wasn't around 40 years ago.
And that's why, and that's how you have to reach out to everyone. And that's
Well,
why
not everyone, but not everyone has a cell phone. Not everyone
not
has a computer.
everyone, but if the town is an aging town.
of
This
course.
area is aging, and if we wanna
Yeah.
grow, we have to put ourselves out there on websites and social media. And like what you're saying, being a team and supporting each other with the events that I'm bringing in, promoting it more than just in the Nebraska Life magazine, putting it on the websites. People are, I mean, when they search for it, that's what they're looking for. And the swimming pool, the ball fields that are gonna be coming, why are the walking fields, the disc golf courses, we're gonna have 2 in town.
I know, we help fund them.
Then, and that's not even listed on any of the attractions. We don't have any of that listed. And so that's where it just was really frustrating to just say, Sarah, you're not working. It's like, whoa, 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 whoa. I am doing my damnedest to get stuff
I
out
never
there.
intended for you to think that I didn't think you were doing that. That was not my intention whatsoever. And I'm sorry if it came across like that. 'Cause
But I
that
don't
was
have
not-
time every time I get an email or a phone call for an interview to make sure that you're included.
That's fine.
Because it is not my job. If I'm the one promoting it,
Mm-hmm.
and people see that, they're coming to me asking questions out in public, whatever it may be, then I'm gonna answer them. But if you're not promoting it, how can I speak on your behalf?
That's fine. That was, again, not my intention, when we met the other day. And I wish you had brought some of this up at that time. And then we could have cleared it up.
But
much,
you
much
said it was
sooner.
also not just you, it was your board.
Well,
So that's why I wanted
and
to
I
make
had
sure the
had
board is
comments,
aware of
and
what.
that's, you know, that's part of boards, I guess. But I thought that we could have a conversation, I guess.
Well, now that it's out there, then it can be addressed and move forward.
Correct, it's correct. Okay. Next on the agenda is McCook brand.
As you know, there's been an effort to do a McCook brand, and
We've been trying to coordinate this for 30 years too.
yeah, and
Yeah, nothing ever seemed to happen.
I hesitate to, I don't know that we're quite there to, there's some things that still need to be fine-tuned so that all the different organizations within the community can utilize it. And, you know, fortunately or unfortunately, my history going back to the Go-To McCook brand,
Mm-hmm.
that
Remember
was,
that?
they're, you know, kind of still.
Wasn't that an
spills
MEDC
over.
deal?
It was a community effort.
Yeah.
It was the
Yeah.
banks and the EDC
Yeah,
and
right.
the hospital.
Right.
There were
Right,
the
right.
chamber, about everybody was involved, but, so, and you'll see the implement they're, proposing with on the app now,
Is that the red?
the cross, yeah.
I almost thought it was like wanted to say it like a different country flag
Well,
Swiss
and
flag?
or
that-
something.
Yeah.
Did you see it?
The Swiss flag?
That had,
It's right there on the bottom.
Oh,
and
there.
they have, kind of proposed a flag, but yeah.
So whose is that?
Well, it's part of this new, and I'm being kind of vague because I think there's still some fine tuning that goes with it, and for a rollout, I don't think this is the appropriate place for that. But it's something I think we can integrate into, into materials and into, social media and things like that to, so there's a cohesive brand for McCook, but not necessarily
Seeing that for 30 years.
losing the Buffalo Commons that we've been working with. So, I guess I still have questions about it, so it's difficult for me to want to kind of add it, but it is the symbol that you're seeing on the McCook app.
So who designed that?
The Secret Penguin,
Super Penguin.
which is an agency.
Out of where?
Omaha.
Okay.
So I think we can,
Drop that.
yeah, move
Go
on.
on. Construction.
In your packet, there's, release and what the construction, just for kind of an FYI thing.
I hope they're done with the pool by December.
It's closed now, isn't it?
Oh, yeah, it's been 2 weeks.
Yeah. That's why you're missing your pool.
Yeah.
I miss my pool already. In 2 weeks and it's all right. It's all right.
So, it's just more of
Travel
an
stories.
FYI.
Yeah.
This
Yeah,
is the walking
that's-
tour. There is a plug-in on our website. Under history, there's a drop down, so people can access the walking tour at that point.
Good.
Which is something that has just happened within the last week, that it's been available. But, so you can, click on it and it'll talk you through the process on that.
Moving on. Visit
With,
Nebraska.
yeah, the marketing grant,
Where does that stand?
we were awarded, the $7,500. The things that, going with the Explore McCook app, we'll have funds for the 2026 Visit Nebraska Travel Guide, in addition of the Destination Nebraska e-newsletter and a quarterly banner ad on visitnebraska.com. In addition, we'll use it to promote through social media blitzes and also with ads with the Destination Nebraska newsletter, Buffalo Commons Storytelling Festival, and Heritage Days. And we'll, in addition, the ad placements we have for Nebraska Life and Colorado Life will also be promoting the app.
Super. Grants integrate.
Yeah.
I'm gonna do the next one, Mid-Plains Community College Rodeo Team Banquet, since we were the sponsor of that. Last week, Carol and her husband Mike and myself and my wife Leslie went up last Saturday night. We private dinner, at an auction. I don't know how much money they raised. It was wonderful, it really was. It was great. Okay, now, any questions about, you should've went, you couldn't go, could you?
No, we
We had a
had
huge
grandkids
table,
back.
we could've had
Yeah.
Andrew, you could've gone.
I had a 2 and a 3-year-old I could have brought.
Yeah.
We have room at the table.
We had to
Yeah, we had
two-
room at
we
the
had
table.
Wi-Fi.
Yeah. We had room at the table, I had lots of room at the table.
One thing with that sponsorship, we've always seen the rodeo team prior to the rodeo, which the McCook one is this weekend. they are and they have changed timed event coaches again, so they're on their second one since Garrett. They will be sending out invoices in August. They're going on the school calendar year, so I think we can touch base with them prior to that about a sponsorship.
Good.
I still think it's a good exercise for the kids to come in.
Oh, I would agree.
And talk,
Scared to death.
because I don't know of any event that they're gonna be, you know, if they get on rodeo committees or whatever they're doing. And even if they don't and they're just at the competition level, knowing what it takes to get sponsorships is not a bad idea.
Moving on then, you're done there, Carol, then.
Yeah.
NBC rodeo. Director's report, travel conference.
Yeah, I did stay a little longer than I had intended because of weather. There's always good, workshops that go along with it. Ones that, some of them were a little over my head. Went to one, it's called A Search Storm is Coming. Are you prepared for Google's new IA-driven initiative for search?
Oh, AI, yeah.
AI, yeah. And that's very complicated.
It is something we have to be ready for
But-
though, because
right.
that's the new thing.
Yeah.
And that's the way people are looking for stuff to go places and book.
And so I'm going over the information that I got from that and seeing how it works for us. This is, on that one, there was one on creative districts, which was informative, and they rightfully acknowledged Rhonda Graff. Rhonda was in attendance as well, for the work that's being done here in McCook. The speaker for this destination promotion, a catalyst for community vitality, he was not able to attend because of weather, so they did a pre-taped presentation, and then there were some technology issues with that. But it's through Destination International, which is an organization that promotes tourism worldwide. And a lot of what they do is to lobby. They are a lobbying organization on a national level. So they do a lot of research on what are the trends and what you need to look at is kind of their background. And I'll have to admit, I didn't go to a session. The next one I got busy with a conversation, and did not go to the last breakout session, and then I headed home after lunch and didn't go to the awards banquet then.
Can I add on to
Oh,
the
sure,
destination?
sure, please.
So the Destination International, that was that breakout session that heads and beds is no longer what tourism should be measured by. And they actually have tools like an event impact calendar. So tourism needs to change its thinking from the heads and beds to the economic impact in a community. Because you have this new trend of, the little campers where a lot of people like to just camp out. So you're not going to have the lodging tax. But when they come here, they want to experience the arts, they want to experience food. They might forget something, so they're going to go shopping. And so that's what that Destination International, they have all sorts of tools on their websites that is event for tourism and tourism directors So for their area, they can measure, okay, this is the success that tourism is having for our area because of the gas, everything that adds up, because we're not always gonna have people want to stay.
I agree with that.
Well, I wouldn't, because that's not where my thing is. I'm still in the heads and beds thing.
And speaking of, on the app, I did do Airbnbs. I did list
saw that.
yours. Yes. The other ones are chamber members, and so that just putting that extra time and effort
Right.
into people, that's
Yeah.
what that is. And there are so many more out there too.
Mhm.
I know one just went through city council, so I'll be reaching out to them as well.
Yeah,
So,
there are
'cause
starting to
that's
be more and more.
When you have graduation or heritage days, the cruise is gonna be the same thing, because we have Tour Nebraska coming, and McCook is the final stop, and that's 400 to 500 extra people that are gonna be experiencing McCook and staying not in hotels, but in campgrounds and up at the park and whatnot. And so, I just wanna make sure that everything, cause we want people to stay in our area, keep the money local.
450 people are gonna be camping out?
Mhm.
Wow.
Mhm.
What are they gonna do for, toiletry items and bathrooms and such?
So.
Porta potties?
Rhonda is working with the city and the college, and they're gonna stay up at Kelly Park area. The pool is up there, so they can use the pool, and then they'll also use the college facilities.
For showers and toiletries and.
And then they'll set up,
Okay.
camp areas in the park.
Yeah.
Some will stay in hotels, and some can also, they have a semi-truck trailer, and the Tour Nebraska isn't, they travel through Nebraska. They're coming just to southwest Nebraska this year. So they'll start in Curtis, and then they drive, or they'll ride their bikes to Elwood, to Cambridge, and then they
Oh,
end
yeah,
up
okay,
here.
okay, all right.
So their
Now I know
banquet
what you're
will be
talking about.
here.
I could-
They'll have a concert that Saturday night, the same night as the cruising on the Bricks and the Bash.
Busy.
Yeah, feast of famine. Opposition to LB 261,
Yeah.
I see that. Wow.
Yeah, the hearing for
Today.
in appropriations for the Tourism Commission is today. The hearing started at 1:30 and, but it was several down the list, so it's probably not up yet. In an effort to balance the budget and to take property taxes down, they're looking to take close to $3 million or over $3 million out of the tourism budget. One of the things that kind of was emphasized at conference, because obviously this was a huge topic of conversation, is that for every dollar spent, it gets multiplied by almost $21 of economic impact into the state by each dollar that's spent in marketing. And by eliminating several $1 million out of the budget, it is going to take several $1 million. I think the final number was 82 million that we would not see in economic benefits to the state
Spending.
by not letting people know we're here. So it's just, and should this come to pass, first thing that's gonna be hit is the passport program would probably be eliminated. Because there just won't be the
Sure,
funds
it'd be the dollars
to
that
do
don't.
it, so.
Who introduced that bill to cut it?
It's part of the governor's
Oh, is it?
package.
And they need to do something with property taxes.
Agreed,
It's
but
ridiculous.
the tourism budget is solely made up of lodging tax.
Yeah.
So to take a designated tax and to use it for another purpose isn't appropriate
Yeah.
either.
So they're stealing from Peter to pay Paul.
Yeah,
That's typical.
so, if you've listened to any of it. And today's lineup is, for appropriations, is Nebraska State Historical Society, the Nebraska Arts Council, Nebraska Tourism Commission, and the Department of Economic Development. So it's, last week was Game and Parks, so,
Wow,
yeah.
wow.
And I'm all for getting rid of unnecessary spending, but, the way that the tourism budget has been utilized in the last few years has definitely increased Nebraska's visibility. And without money, you can't do that. So it could have a negative economic impact on the state without being able to promote. And Nebraska will forever be one of the lowest funded states for promoting tourism. Usually we run about 48th in the amount of money spent. So time will tell. So.
Okay, done with that one. We'll see what happens today. Staffing
Yeah,
changes.
staffing changes. Kyle Kinney is no longer employed by the EDC, ourselves, in the chamber for graphic design. And there is a new administrative assistant with the EDC. Billy started on Monday, so she's.
Where's she from?
I haven't, she's been so busy getting things.
With Charlie and.
Yeah, settled in, so I have not visited, been out yesterday because of the weather and the effect.
Cool.
So.
What's Billy's last name? You don't know? Okay. Where are you chicken?
Yeah, start next week, hoping that the weather is.
Supposed to be.
It's good.
Supposed to be.
Yeah. Let's see, I have a couple of dates. Saturday, April 12th, and Tuesday, April 22nd, that I could use another person on, but,
I'll do Saturday the 12th.
okay,
I could probably do Tuesday.
okay.
Well, we driving your bourbon?
Mhm.
Tuesday the 22nd, is that what you said?
Yeah,
And April 12th.
and Trina McPherson is gonna drive a couple of days too.
Trina is?
Yeah. And,
She likes that though.
yeah,
I don't know why.
I'll touch, she likes.
I
birds.
should be
Sure.
able to, yeah.
Okay, if you can, just let me know.
Okay.
We did have, reporter from Nebraska Life that was here on Monday. Just kind
In
of,
person?
Yeah.
Really?
Just kind of to introduce ourselves and to put names with faces. She met with both me and Sarah.
And
And
Rhonda, she didn't know about the walking tour, and I had to get out for another meeting, so I introduced her to Rhonda, so she could potentially in the future do a write-up on the walking tour, cause it's really neat.
Then we do have a new group coming into the Kiplinger. I expect, I thought maybe I'd have the grant application by this meeting, but she did not.
That's a three-year commitment?
It's a 3-year commitment. At this point, from my conversation with Ann Goebel is her name, the woman that's in charge of it, that she that they tend to make a 3-year commitment, then they move someplace else for 3 years just to move it around the country. And she's out of Minnesota, so, and it's a weekend over the 3rd of October that they'll be in this year, so.
So they'll be filling out a grant request
I
I
sent
assume so.
her,
to Giles.
I sent Ann, sent posters for the app with her and, some cards. And also she wanted logos for their publications and things, so, I've been in correspondence with her and sent her a link to the grant. So, it's just
Well, that-
nice to see a new group.
Well, sure, a new group, because we, they're the same old groups. Of course, like I say, I'm a block from that place, and I hear every weekend, all year long, I hear horses.
It's
Wake up
busy.
to horses, go to bed with horses. Do
It's
that or
busy.
with loudspeaker systems. And some of them wouldn't be here if it wasn't for this committee.
Yeah, they do bring a lot into the
Oh,
area.
my word, it's unbelievable
So-
what they bring in.
Yeah, we
Food,
need to get
gas,
the
booze.
stuff up to the fairgrounds, so
and-
they've got it
Oh,
all.
I know, it's just unreal.
New business.
New business, no promotion, no facility grant. We wanna vote on USA Today Midwest Travel.
This is something we've been doing the last couple of years, and
And that's printed by USA Today, right?
correct.
Yeah.
It's
I know what it is, it's just it's an insert, right? Within their Midwest.
and
Of course, it
there's a
costs me
digital
much more.
version of it
Yeah.
too. $1,500 is what it's.
And do they have any kind of data on, like,
Readership,
yeah, and how many people have actually
used to.
used that or
well,
come here
they
because of
they
that?
have circulation, their circulation, I don't know what their
Yeah,
circulation is
circulation
now. It's
numbers,
been-
but, we do include a QR code in the ad, so. And it's another place where we would switch over the ads to, the Explore McCook app, so.
So it would come
So
through
we-
that way, so you
right.
really don't know.
And I don't know, speaking of USA Today, if you guys know, but McCook is on the top 10. We got the award for small towns big on art, 10 best spots for art lovers through USA Today. There was a big write-up on that.
I saw that.
Good, no, I did not see that.
And that's a result
paper.
of it's a freelance reporter, but she was here in 23,
Yeah.
through one of the media tours that we, sponsored.
Sponsored.
Good.
Well, we're gonna call for a vote, we have a quorum. We'd entertain a motion if so, or we can wait, when's the deadline for that?
They contacted me right after our meeting last month, so.
Oh, it needs to be voted
Yeah.
on.
Yeah.
I can't motion.
I will motion to approve USA Today.
I will second that.
I have a motion to second to approve the USA
So
Today
thank you.
News travel for $1,500, any other discussion? All in favor? Opposed? Motion carries. Claim summary. Anything to add there, Carol? I don't think so.
No.
So I'd entertain a motion to promote, call for
Approval of claims
approval, thank you,
I will make
for
that
the
motion.
promotion fund.
for the promotion fund, the approval of claims.
Andrea?
I second.
Okay, any other discussion? Call for the vote, aye,
Aye.
opposed? Okay. Approval of claims for the improvement fund.
I will motion to
Very
approve the claims of the improvement fund.
I will second that motion.
A motion and a second to approve the claims for the improvement fund, any other discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. Thank you all for attending. Sarah, thank you for coming.
Absolutely.
Hope to see you next month.